Sorry, the yesterday I have a problem
with the
with my
internet connection. That's okay.
yes.
And you, Marie Cristancho, do you remember the last class? What did we study about? What did you learn? Could you please tell us about it, please? Mary Cristancho, are you there? Oh my God, Mary also has problems. I can't believe it. And you, Dana Noriega, do you remember what we studied yesterday?
Yesterday we started to the nouns and the verbs.
Yeah, we studied some nouns and verbs and what was the function of those verbs and nouns when it comes to use English, to practice English? What was the yesterday's objective?
The verbs is to describe an action, and the nouns is describe a person, animals, things, etc.
Exactly, but what was the objective of the class? What was yesterday's class about? We were trying to study different ways to identify people and to say where people are. For example, there are different ways to identify people. What is number one? Number one? What is number one? Hello, class. Are you there?
Physical appearance.
Physical appearance. For example,
mustache.
look at the picture. Tell me how can you identify this woman that is here in lesson B? The woman that is with the microphone. What would be an example according to yesterday's class? Let's imagine that the woman's name is Anna. Who is Anna in the picture? Imagine that the woman's name that you see here in lesson B, the one that is with the microphone, the woman's name is Anna. So tell me about Anna. Hello? Anybody home? Hola, somebody is here? I'm talking along?
I'm your teacher.
Okay, thank you, but answer to my question. Give me this example with clothes or physical appearance or what the activity that the person is doing in order to identify the person or where the person is. Please, tell me.
She is the one with the microphone.
Okay, or she is the woman with the what? With the long
Hair.
black hair. Very good. And what about the guy that is in the news? Look at the guy that is in the news, the one on this part of the book. So who's this person?
Is the man with a suit.
With a suit and what color? The tie color.
Blue tie.
A suit and the blue tie.
I'm a blue tie.
That's excellent. Very good. And also yesterday class, we studied something about the quiet zone. Do you remember what the quiet zone was all about? What was the quiet zone about? in West Virginia. What happens in that area? Miriam, about yesterday's class, what was the quiet zone about? Miriam Garcia. Carla. Laura G. ¿Hay algún problema con el micrófono o algo así? Que no me siento escuchado, me siento ignorado. Carla, ¿tú sí me escuchas, verdad?
Yeah, sure. I
Okay, Carla, help me with my question.
I need a coffee.
Okay, help me with the...
It's a place, I think it's a place who people used to see the stars, to see the, I know.
Actually, it's
like
a place that the government, the
desert,
US government decided to have in order to put these telescopes that I use, of course, to study the universe. But you know that these telescopes cannot work when there is radio interference that comes from cell phones and Wi-Fi connection. So that's why cell phones, laptops, and every single electronic device.
And they put the telescope in a place without any signs and interference. Yeah.
And the question was, do you think that this place is a perfect place for you to live? And some people said, yes, teacher, maybe for 2 or 3 days it's okay. I mean, for vacations. But at the moment of living, I don't think so. I wouldn't like to live there. Just for vacation would be possible, but not for, living there without having connections and living our modern life. That's not okay. That's what some people said yesterday. Today's class,
I think the same thing, because for me, I need some noise and some people. I need to see cars and I don't know.
Exactly. So everything depends on the situation. Maybe if you are looking for some vacations in which you want to be relaxed, be away from the noise of the city, that's the perfect place, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Just for vacations, but not to live the rest of your lives, because we have to live with technology. We need the internet to work. We need the internet to keep in touch with our family members and friends. The internet is a very important tool right now to communicate and get information about the world. And that's basically, that's what you see here in this part of lesson B. You see all about information about the news. What are the latest news? The latest news is all about the newest. What are the newest news in the world? Okay, there are 2 words. We have breaking news and we have latest news. Remember that breaking news is when something unusual happens, especially an emergency, for example, or something important happens, and then we are having we're watching our favorite TV show, and this TV show is interrupted because the local news or the international news or the national news that these people want to share with us is there. For example, I remember that one day when the natural disaster that happened in San Andres, there were some breaking news about it, and of course, we were watching our favorite TV show, and I was interrupted because these people wanted to share that news. Also, when Diego Armando Maradona died, okay, I remember that I was watching a soap opera, and this soap opera was interrupted because they wanted to share that news with everybody. So that's an example of breaking news. latest news is what are the newest information about the world, for example. So there are different types of news in the world. We have local, national, and international. Okay? I would like to start the class asking you, or asking for the most important news in Cartagena. Let's talk about local news. What are the latest news about Cartagena?
All the news related with the COVID in this moment.
What's the latest news about Cartagena, people?
All the news related with the COVID.
So what happens in Cartagena with COVID-19? What happens? Explain to me.
All days we have daily reports, the daily reports of the deaths and the people who se contagió. No sé cómo se dice esa palabra en inglés.
Sorry?
Que se contagió.
Get sick?
Yeah, get sick.
Yeah,
the
actually,
daily
you're right.
reports.
I agree with you. Every day there are new cases or new reports of people who are getting COVID-19, who are COVID-19 positive. And that high amount, I mean, that big amount of people, or this big number of people who are infected with this virus are affecting the number of beds that are available in hospitals, especially in the intensive care units. So that's why the local government is implementing these, I would say, solutions in order to stop the numbers of people who are infected. One of the solutions that the mayor was thinking of was to implement the lockdown, I would say como una cuarentena, something like that, or maybe a prohibition of selling alcohol and these kind of things in public places in some neighborhoods in Cartagena. And that's because, you know, the numbers of beds that are available in hospitals are not enough, especially when I'm saying hospitals, I'm talking about the intensive care units, los cuidados intensivos. So there are more than 50% of the beds are busy right now. So that's the most important news in Cartagena. It's about COVID-19. So the number of people who are infected is high, and it's increasing every day. So maybe for December 7th, December 34th, and December 31st, we're going to have these restrictions in order to be in these places celebrating the New Year's Eve. So we have to be ready for it, to celebrate those things at home. That's it. No parties, no clubs, and that things are not allowed right now because of that. Now, what about national news? What are the national news today? What is the latest national news? Christian Tavares, can you share with the class the latest national news today?
To be honest, teacher, I don't know about the news.
Or maybe on Facebook, when you open Facebook, when you open Instagram, you see something about the country, about Colombia, an important event. Or, I mean, it could be about sports, it could be about entertainment, it could be about, I don't know, about different things. About education, about health. Talking
About
about
the-
education, the national news is that the government hasn't said anything about the face-to-face classes in schools for next year. They haven't said anything about it. And also I have read that they are discussing about the new implementations in order to know how much, people here in Colombia are going to get when they work. I'm talking about the minimum wage. Do you know what the minimum wage is? The new implementation of the minimum wage. So they are still discussing about it. ¿Saben lo que estoy hablando? Oh my God, what a silence. What is the minimum wage?
I don't know, teacher.
Salario mínimo, el salario mínimo. That's the most important national news right now. People are waiting, expecting to see what are the changes or the new changes for the minimum wage this year. Remember that every December, the minimum wage changes according to, the government's, I would say, law implementations and things. So look at what I'm going to write here, minimum wage. So that's the word for salario mínimo. What about international news? Please tell me, what are the international news today?
It's the same thing, teacher.
The same, the coronavirus.
About the coronavirus.
A national news this weekend. In Colombia now it's forbidden to hunt sharks.
To have what?
It's forbidden to hunt sharks. Shark. Forbidden to hunt sharks.
You're talking about tiburones?
Yes.
About this?
Yes, shark.
What happens to sharks?
Now in Colombia, it's forbidden to hunt sharks.
To
Shark
hunt.
hunting.
Ah, okay. It's forbidden. Really?
Yeah.
Because I've heard that a few months ago, there was like a law in which they could kill sharks and things like that, but now it's forbidden. That's excellent. That's good news, actually, right?
Yeah, it's a good news.
Yeah, that's good news for the environment. Also, let's talk about this, the vaccine. I have heard that in the work, I don't know where what country is, but I have heard that there is a new vaccine, for COVID-19. And these days they are going to implement that vaccine.
United
See
Kingdom.
what happens. Yes? What do you know about that vaccine?
Yeah, it's an United Kingdom. The enterprise is Pfizer.
Sorry?
It's a Pfizer company.
So
the country
my question is, the news
Kingdom.
about the vaccine, is it positive or negative? Do we have a vaccine to kill COVID-19? Is there a vaccine right now?
No, teacher.
Yes.
Does it work?
Not sure, teacher.
Supposed to, because
It's a positive But right now,
Approve.
I don't hear a new vaccine with the COVID-19.
The United Kingdom approve a
Okay,
vaccine.
look at this. Maybe they are piloting or they are running a pilot to see if this vaccine is going to be successful, 100% speaking. So when we're talking about these tests or trials, you can use the word pilot. So you pilot something or you run a pilot, that's the word, you run a pilot to see if something works or doesn't work in a certain situation. So we can say that these countries that have the vaccine are running, a pilot to see if this kind of vaccine is 100% successful. Of course, remember that when we have a vaccine, uh, after implementing those things, they have to see what the side effects are. They study and they get these solutions and new implementations in order to save the world. Actually, we need a vaccine as soon as possible because the economy is affected. Also, talking about this situation that we are living right now is really, really uncomfortable. To be in a place where there are a lot of people, you feel afraid that maybe you get sick. Now it's not possible to be in these crowded places. And when you are surrounded by people, you feel uncomfortable and also worried. So I think that we need a vaccine as soon as possible.
But there are a vaccine.
Sorry?
There are a vaccine. The United Kingdom 2 days ago approved the United Kingdom is the first country in approve the first vaccine in the world.
It's approved, but my question is it 100% successful?
There are not, it doesn't exist a vaccine with a 100%. It's 1999.
Yeah, that's right. What I'm trying to say is that do you think that for next year,
with 100%
do you think that for next year things will change?
Sorry?
Are things going to change for next year? Yes or no?
I don't know. The next week there are 800, 800,000. ¿Cómo se dice 800,000? Vacunados.
Okay, queda vacunado. Ese que sería el word vaccinated. O sea, vaccine está como sustantivo y la acción, the verb es vaccinated, vaccines, actually, sino que vaccinated es participio pasado. Vaccinate, vaccinate, do you see?
Vaccinate, okay.
And the past and past participle has an ed ending because it's a regular verb. So, estar vacunado o vacunarse es get vaccinated or vaccinate, So now that you have the verb, please tell me the sentence that you wanted to share with the class, please. What were you going to say?
The first 800,000 sería 800,000 doses of vaccines, yeah.
Are going to be implemented next week.
Yeah, are available.
Hay una palabra muy interesante que es within.
In the next week.
Esta palabra me gusta mucho en este tipo de casos. ¿La conocen? Within. Dentro de un tiempo ya. Dentro de un lapso de tiempo. So you can say, the first ¿cuánto dijiste? 800,000. 800,000 vaccines are going to be implemented within within 2 weeks, you know,
The next week, or yeah, well,
within 3 days, within 2 weeks, you know, dentro de 2 semanas, el lapso de 2 semanas. Okay, let's pray to see if this thing is going to be positive and successful, and maybe for next year, we're going to have a normal life. We're not going to have a normal life anymore. Things are going to be, I would say, different. For example, one of the impacts of this virus is that people, everybody has to continue washing their hands, wearing masks in case that you have the flu, also keeping the distance. And you know, that's the impact that we're having. Also, we're gonna see in bus stations, supermarkets, malls, concerts, people wearing masks because, you know, it's very important to protect our health. And that's what I think is gonna happen after the COVID-19 will be, I mean, that when we will get a solution or a vaccine for that. People are still going to continue wearing masks, washing their hands to prevent future viruses that will kill us. Very good, friends. That's excellent. So, as I said before, in lesson B, we have 4 new words. Number 1, in this case, I'm going to use the chat room. I'm in the chat. I'm going to speak and also share the information in the chat that is here in Zoom. So pay attention to the chat room with everything I'm speaking. So for lesson B, the vocabulary words are, or the most important words are, number 1, we have, of course, local news. Number 2, we have national news. Number 3, we have international news. Number 4, we have the word breaking news. Remember that breaking news son las noticias de última hora. And number 5, we have latest news, the latest news. Remember that the latest news is a synonym for the newest. The newest news, in this case, could be local, national, or international. Okay, that's basically what we have here, my friends. Right now, you're going to see here a short survey about the news. Before answering with our own information, let's analyze the keywords or the vocabulary words that are important to understand this type of questions, these questions that we have here. For number 1, we have get the news. Remember that get the news is how you obtain that information. I mean, watching TV, listening to the radio, checking on, online apps, websites, or other. In number 2, we have some blue words that are important to mention. Number 1, you know, that are national, international, and local. Now, the different types of news. We have news about entertainment. When you say entertainment, I'm talking about celebrities, about concerts, singers, actors, and things like that. We have international, local, national, sports, and tabloid. Do you know what tabloid is? Do you remember when a president in the United States was involved in this kind of news in which this guy was, of course, he was married, but a paparazzi or somebody saw him dating with another woman, and then everybody was talking about it. Okay, the president, he's married, and a paparazzi saw him with a woman. I don't know, somewhere in the world. That's a tabloid. Other examples are tabloids are basically found in newspapers. For example, here we have something called El Cubo, and we have also El Teso. And the type of information that you get there, it's this information that is kind of like prensa amarillista, yeah? It's tabloid. Por ejemplo, lo mataron por cachón. El top 10 de los influencers como que le han metido cacho este año. Just tabloid, that's it. Le pegaron una puñalada. Those things are tabloid news. Do you understand? Pillaron al concejal de Tumbaco Chapeto en una fiesta de toro diciendo malas palabras, lo grabaron. Tabloids. Okay, noticias de como de escándalo. You know, that's the word. Okay, is that clear?
Okay, teacher.
Okay, we have also news story. Remember that CNN, for example, Fox News Channel, BBC, these kind of online sources, they also share news story about something, about famous people. It could be about an important person. For example, right now I have seen so many news stories about Maradona, Diego Armando Maradona. That's an example of news stories. Yeah, that's right. Diego Armando Maradona, or I don't know, something about a documentary, something that happens and it becomes a news story. Also, look at the next one. Someone famous who was in the news, you know, the Instagrammers, politicians, actors, actresses, these people, soccer players, and so forth. What other words do we have? Bad, what else? Good, great, sad, and sensational. So these type of words are used talking about these type of people that were in the news, and maybe this type of news were bad, good, great, sad, or sensational, depending on the thing that happened there. And you know that right now, thanks to the internet, especially Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, it's possible to, to know information or the news about something really easy. Because right now, with this kind of stuff, it's really easy to spread these type of news from place to place quickly. So spread es como regar una noticia, en este caso de un lado para otro rápido, thanks to the internet. Okay, so that's the word, spread the news from one place to place quickly. We have news story, hear the news, okay? We have word of mouth, okay? Somebody told me that this happened in Cartagena. Really, what happened? Okay, a person tried to enter to a bank and commit this bank robbery, but you know, cameras saw him, and now the police catch this person, and now he's in jail. And everybody starts to talk about it, and you get, and those news, you know about those news because somebody tells you about it, orally speaking. So that's word of mouth. Someone tells you about it. Then we have, of course, the last word, that is, did you tell anyone else the news? Anyone else could be whatever, whoever person, right? It's how many people you tell stories or news about something. So right now, I want you to complete this group of these type of questions, these 6 questions, and then I'm going to create the breakout rooms and we're going to socialize the answers, okay? So let's get started. I repeat, complete the questions with your own answers, and then I'm going to create the breakout rooms in order to share those answers with your classmates. So let's get started. For this activity, I'm going to give you 3 minutes. So you have 3 minutes, actually 4, because I know that you need to take notes and think. So you have 4 minutes to complete the answers, and after the 4 minutes, me, the teacher, is going to create the breakout rooms, and of course, you're going to socialize your answers with your classmates. I will patrol your work. I will check your work, help you if you need some words to tell, to say, and things like that. So let's get started. Three, two, 1, 0. The time is up. Are you finished with the activity, my friends?
No, teacher.
Not yet? Why not?
Not yet.
Okay, pay attention to me. I am going to create 5 rooms, and in these 5 rooms, we're going to have 2 students. You're going to work in pairs, and the idea is to socialize your answers with your classmates. Please participate, practice, talk, speak. Do not be quiet. Do not be in the quiet zone. Please be active and participate. Of course, I will check what you're doing. I'm not going to interrupt your conversation with your classmates, but I'm going to make sure that everything is doing well with your participation. So let's get started. Okay, Dana and Juan Camilo, please share the screen with the questions and of course, practice and, oh my God, what happened? I think that this woman had a problem with the internet connection. Juan, unmute the microphone, please.
Yes, teacher, here.
Okay, so let me see what happened to your classmates. Ok, Juan, te voy a mandar para el aula. Ah, ya está por ahí, Dana Noriega. Te la mando para acá enseguida. Cristian Tavares está solo. Voy a moverlo para el aula 4. And now, please share your questions, please. Dana, can you hear us? Dana?
No, teacher, my internet connection is bad.
Okay. Yo les voy a colaborar porque tienen mala conexión a internet, yo les colaboro. Pues, Juan Camilo, how do you typically get your news? TV, radio, online, or other?
Teacher, I usually watching TV.
Okay, so the answer is TV. And what about you,
Yes.
Dana?
Okay, I typically get my news with TV and sometimes radio.
Okay, that's perfect. In what kind of news are you most interested in, Juan Camilo? Local, national, or international?
Local
Local news.
news.
Why local news?
Because because yes, it's I interesting interesting news.
Yeah, because it's important to know the events that are happening around our area, around our neighborhood, or around the place we live.
Yes.
And what about you, Dana? Local, national, or international?
For me, it's an international news because it's important to know what about the world.
Yeah, what happens in the world?
What happened in the world? Yes.
That's excellent. What's one popular news program or news site in Colombia?
Caracol and RCN News.
Okay, very good. And also
Caracol News.
Caracol News, that's right. And what kind of news site is it? Entertainment? It's national, right? It's national. The answer is national. When you read an interesting news story, do you post it online? I mean, do you share news on Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter? Juan Camilo, do you usually share this type of information?
Yes, teacher. I usually, ¿cómo se? Ahora sí. I usually.
Share information with my contacts on WhatsApp, for example. And you, Dana?
Yes,
Yes, Juan Camilo, tell me.
For me, okay, and for me, it's very little, and I don't share with my contacts the news because sometimes these news are fake, and I
Yeah, that's right.
interested
Fake
with.
news. So we need to share information from a reliable source.
Yes.
That's right. Okay, what about you, Juan Camilo? What were you going to say?
teacher, I usually see news on Facebook from another country. The information.
Okay. When you read an interesting news story, do you post it online? We said that yes. Think of someone famous who was in the news recently. Okay, of course the answer is Diego Armando Maradona, right?
Yes.
Can you mention another famous person? Can you mention another famous person?
I don't know. I think that in this moment it's not our other person because the died for Diego Armando Maradona is very recently, and I don't know. I think
I don't know if
that
you saw the news about Silvestre Dangond, that he was hospitalized and he was in the hospital, and there were some fake news that he was having COVID-19, but of course it was not true. He was hospitalized because he was having some problems, I don't know, with the stomach. Yeah,
I
that's
don't
right.
know this.
What about the next one? Did the news about people in general spread from one place to place quickly?
Sure. What are the meaning for
Spread es regarse, o sea, que se riegan las noticias de un lado para otro rápido. The answer is, of course, yes. And number 6, please, tell me the answer for 6.
I think that is on TV or social media.
Yes, teacher, me too. On TV, on social media.
Excellent, good job. Muy bien. Pero un momentico, voy a verificar otros grupos que estén trabajando bien y después van a regresar a la sesión normal. Déjenme verifico los grupos de Carla y Alejandro. Wait a minute. How are things here? Are you practicing?
Yeah, teacher.
Yeah, teacher. And we finished the activity.
Are you finished?
Yes.
Yeah.
I was sharing the screen.
Okay, let's go back to the main room.
Okay.
Okay, friends, thanks for your participation and cooperation, working with this part with your classmates. Right now, we're going to continue with more. We're going to continue with the same topic about the news and look at this picture. What kind of news do you think this picture belongs?
The entertainment news.
That is entertainment news, that's right, because we see a famous celebrity. Here we see the paparazzis taking pictures and things like that. Actually, we're going to listen to a reporter talk about three stories that are in the news, that are the latest news. So now after listening to these three stories, you have to choose A, B, or C, as you can see here, and say which do you think most people wanted to read or hear about. You have to circle your answer and then tell a parent, okay? So let's get started. Listen, and then you have to tell me, according to this listening, which news story did most people want to read or hear about? So let's get started.
I have a question for you.
One more time. Let's repeat it again.
And now for our next story, here's Liz Deming.
Thanks, Rex. I have a question for you. What is the biggest news story you've paid attention to this week? Was it the big news about the job market? The president's meeting in Asia? Or was it the scandal about the soccer player?
Well, I guess we've all been talking about that soccer player who got caught cheating.
Right. In fact, polls show that the news about the soccer player has been the most popular.
Well, it is an interesting story.
True, but when the media spends most of its time covering tabloid stories, like the one about the soccer player, the public isn't getting information that's really important, like the news about the economy.
And now for our next story, here's Liz Deming.
Thanks, Rex. I have a question for you. What is the biggest news story you've paid attention to this week? Was it the big news about the job market? The president's meeting in Asia? Or was it the scandal about the soccer player?
Well, I guess we've all been talking about that soccer player who got caught cheating.
Right. In fact, polls show that the news about the soccer player has been the most popular.
Well, it is an interesting story.
True, but when the media spends most of its time covering tabloid stories, like the one about the soccer player, the public isn't getting information that's really important, like the news about the economy.
Okay, friends, according to this, which news story did most people want to read or hear about?
A scandal
A scandal
involving
involving soccer player.
Exactly. Why? Why is that the answer? Why is it the answer, my friends?
Because in the moment, he's there is a important famous news.
Mhm. That's right. Very good. Does anybody here wants to share this reason of this answer? Nobody? Okay, very good. Now let's continue with part C. What do we have to do in part C? We're going to listen for details. I mean, read the sentences 1, 2, 3, and 4. Of course, listen to the full conversation and then circle if the sentences are true or false. Try to correct the ones that are false. So let's get started.
And now for our next story, here's Liz Deming.
Thanks, Rex. I have a question for you. What is the biggest news story you've paid attention to this week? Was it the big news about the job market? The president's meeting in Asia? Or was it the scandal about the soccer player?
Well, I guess we've all been talking about that soccer player who got caught cheating.
Right. In fact, polls show that the news about the soccer player has been the most popular.
Well, it is an interesting story.
True, but when the media spends most of its time covering tabloid stories, like the one about the soccer player, the public isn't getting information that's really important, like the news about the economy.
Well, let's face it. A lot of news today focuses more on selling advertising than on educating the public.
Good point.
And if you want ratings, for a news article or program to be popular, it has to be exciting.
And what gets people to read or watch?
Things like murder and sports. And, of course, celebrity gossip and entertainment news.
Exactly. People know everything that happened to the soccer player, but very little about what's happening with the economy or the environment. These should be our lead stories, not the celebrity scandals.
So friends, the woman feels that a lot of news today is too sensational. True or false?
False.
Why is the answer false? Tell me.
Because she thinks that the news that has to be at the moment must to be about the economy.
Okay, but remember that here the answer was
It's true.
true. It's true. Why the answer is true? Tell me, please.
Because the woman said all the news today or in the media is most of sensational news.
Exactly. The man says the news today is trying to educate the public.
False. No.
Why? Why is false? Why, people? Why is it false?
Because the man said the people need to sensational news and entertainment news and not education.
Okay.
The people prefer the sensational news.
Okay. The man says the least popular news story are about murder and sports.
True.
True. No, it's false. The answer here in 3 is false. Why number 3 is false, people? Why is it false?
Because the man said the opposite. The man says the most popular news stories are about modern sport.
Okay. And 4, the woman believes there should be more news about the economy and the environment. What is the answer? The answer is true. And I agree with this woman. We have more information about the environment, that we need to preserve the environment. And this is the part about the listening. And now to finish the class, I want you to look at the next page. We have something about this kangaroo. That's a very popular animal in Sydney, Australia. This is a viral news. Okay, right now, what are we going to do is to listen and read this information that is here to answer part C and D. Okay, are you ready to listen? Yes?
Yes.
Okay.
Viral news.
Lulu to the rescue. Lulu is a kangaroo. For 10 years, she has lived with the Richards family. Lulu was adopted by the family after they found her next to her dead mother not far from the Richards family's home in New South Wales, Australia. Ken Richards is a farmer. He was working on his farm when a heavy tree branch suddenly fell on top of him and he passed out. Lulu stood next to Mr. Richards's body. She started barking and didn't leave Mr. Richards's side. I've never heard Lulu bark like that. She sounded like a dog. She barked, and she didn't stop, said Celeste, Mr. Richards's daughter. After 15 minutes, the Richards family went to investigate. They found Ken on the ground. Lulu is a hero, said Celeste. She saved my father. Craig Middleton, a veterinarian, says that Lulu's story is rare. I have never seen a kangaroo act like that. Maybe Lulu helped Ken Richards because the Richards family is the only family she has ever known. Lulu is a loyal, friendly, and very intelligent kangaroo. After Ken leaves the hospital, he is planning to go everywhere with Lulu.
This post office is all wet. The Republic of Vanuatu has recently been in the news, but not for the usual reasons. Approximately 175,000 people live in the Republic of Vanuatu, an island chain east of Australia. It is a popular tourist destination because there's a lot to do there. You can visit waterfalls, go horseback riding, or visit a traditional Ni Vanuatu village. Vanuatu is most famous for its scuba diving and snorkeling. In an effort to draw attention to these popular water sports, Vanuatu has created a world's first. The government has opened an underwater post office. You have to be a trained scuba diver to work there. The office is 3 meters below the surface in an area outside Port Vila, the capital city. So far, the post office has hired 4 workers. They will work in a room surrounded by the beauty of Vanuatu's underwater world. Customers will buy waterproof postcards on land and then dive down to the post office to receive a special waterproof stamp.
Okay, that was a listening about this interesting news. The one I loved most was about the kangaroo. Actually, this animal was a hero, don't you think? Don't you think, class? Yes. Okay, now pay attention. We're gonna practice pronunciation. Okay? Let's read and practice the pronunciation of the words. Okay, who wants to practice and read paragraph number 1? Is there a volunteer who wants to read paragraph number 1?
George.
Okay, let's do something. Dana is going to read paragraph number 1 and Alejandro paragraph number 2.
And teacher, what is the paragraph number 1?
Sorry?
What is the paragraph number 1?
Number 1, this one. Lulu the rescue. Lulu to the rescue, sorry. Lulu to the rescue. Go ahead.
Okay. Lulu is a kangaroo. For 10 years, she has lived with the Richards family. Lulu was adopted by the family after they found her next to her dead mother. Now, not far from the Richards family home in the New South Wales, Australia.
Okay.
Ken Richards.
This is Alejandro's paragraph. Alejandro, continue reading.
Ken Richard is a farmer. He was working on his farm when a heavy tree branch suddenly fell on top of him and he passed out.
Okay, fell on top of him and passed out. Very good.
Out.
Okay, who wants to continue reading? Christian Tavares, can you continue reading, please?
Sure, teacher. Lulu stood next to Mr. Richards' body. She started barking and didn't leave Mr. Richards' side.
Excellent. Dana Noriega, continue.
I've never heard Lulu bark like that. She sounds like a dog. She burned and burned, and she didn't stop, said Celeste, Mr. Richards' daughter.
Okay, remember that the pronunciation is barked. Barked. So she barked, and she didn't stop. Repeat, please.
Bark.
Okay, remember that barked es como que ladró, like a dog. Wow, wow, something like this. This animal was like doing so. So let's continue with more. Juan Camilo, could you please continue reading? What happens after 15 minutes, Juan Camilo?
After 15 minutes, the Richard family went to investigate. They found him on the group. Lulu is a hero. Hero said Celeste. She saved my father.
Carla? Carla, continue, please. Thank you, Christian, for your help.
Okay. She said my father. Craig Middleton, a veterinarian, says that Lulu's story is rare. I have never seen a kangaroo act like that. Maybe Lulu helped Ken Richard because the Richard family is the only family she has ever known.
Excellent, very good. And finally, the last paragraph about this. Laura G, please help me. Laura G, is your microphone working properly?
Teacher, here there is a lot of noise breaking.
Okay, Lulu is a loyal, friendly. Mari Cristancho, what about you? Can you help me, please, with the last paragraph?
Lulu.
Okay, Laura G. I
Lulu
think that now
is
your
a
microphone is working, right? Okay, Laura, go ahead.
Lulu is a loyal, friendly, and a very intelligent kangaroo. After Ken leaves the hospital, he is planning to go everywhere with Lulu.
Great. This post office is all wet. Why, Alejandro? What happens in that place?
Eh, eh, I don't know, teacher, porque acá me salió internet, yo no veo esa parte.
Ahí está. The Republic of Vanuatu has recently been in the news. Read, please. Lee. Okay, please. ¿Puede leer, Alejandro, please?
Leer.
This post office is all wet.
The public of teacher, how to pronounce that? The Republic of teacher.
See?
How to pronounce that?
Which one?
The Republic of
Vanuatu.
Vanuatu has recently been in the news, but not for the usual reasons. How to say that? Approximately 175,000 people live in the Republic of Vanuatu and Iceland. Jane is of Australia is a popular tourist destination because there's a lot to do there. You can visit waterfall, go horseback riding, or visit a traditional Vanuatu village. But Vanuatu is more famous for its scuba diving and snorkeling and snorkeling.
Thank you. Who wants to continue reading? Somebody who can help me? In an effort to draw attention to these popular water sports, Vanuatu has created awards first. The government has opened an underwater post office. You have to be a trained scuba diver to work there. The office is 3 meters below the surface in an area outside Port Vila, the capital city. So far, the post office has hired 4 workers. They will work in a room surrounded by the beauty of Vanuatu's underwater world. Customers will buy waterproof postcards on land and then dive down to the post office to receive a special waterproof stamp. Okay, vamos a chequear la pronunciación del lugar. Just to check, wait a minute, Vanuatu.
Viral news.
A minute.
Lulu to the rescue. Lulu is a hero, said.
At waterfalls, go horseback riding. 5,000 people live. The Republic of Vanuatu has recently been in the news, but the Republic of Vanuatu has recently been.
Yeah, wait a minute. Vanuatu. Vanuatu.
This is all wet.
To go everywhere with Lulu.
This post office is all wet. The Republic of Vanuatu has
Vanuatu, yeah, Vanuatu. The Republic of Vanuatu has recently been in the news. Vanuatu. Okay, pay attention to me. As homework, I want you to answer exercise B and C. Okay, that's gonna be done as homework. De un momentico para compartirles esta imagen en caso de que está esa vaina. Where is it? Ok, ya lo encontré. Okay, have shared this thing here on WhatsApp. Please do exercise C, B, and C as homework. And of course, we will continue with more next Monday. Okay? What day is it Monday? Let's see. Tomorrow is 6, 7. Okay, Monday is the 7th of December. Is it a holiday on the 8th? ¿No saben si es festivo? Bueno, entonces el día lunes terminamos la lección B. Inmediatamente ese día les voy a compartir un mini proyecto que va a ser el quiz oral. El quiz oral no lo voy a hacer la típica entrevista en Zoom, pregunta, respuesta. Vamos a hacer un mini proyecto, el cual, como estamos hablando de las noticias, ustedes van a crear como un noticiero. Yo les voy a enseñar las pausas, como sea, las pautas. Y ese va a ser el quiz, ¿ok? Les voy a mostrar ejemplos, pautas, de todo cómo va a ser ese noticiero. Pero antes de eso, primero tengo que terminar la lección B. Entonces quedaría ese proyecto asignado el día lunes y plazo para entregarlo sería entonces el viernes 11 de diciembre. ¿Ya? Eso es lo que tengo agendado para la próxima clase.
Teacher, pero tendríamos que hacer un video y mandárselo.
Sí, claro, pero no te preocupes ni te vayas a poner ahora triste por eso. Yo voy el día lunes a las pautas, cómo se hace, cuánto dura, todo eso lo explico el lunes cuando termine la lección B. No te preocupes que todo va a ser bien sincronizadito, teacher, organizadito y va a quedar bien chévere la actividad del proyecto. ¿Ya?
Ok, teacher.
Es quedamos así por hoy. Nos vemos la próxima semana. Bye, bye.
Bye, bye, teacher. Thank you.
Bye.